Thank you for checking out Who's Hitting Gym podcast. I'm your host, David Jones, coming to you live again from Lexington, Kentucky, since I'm working on assignment. One of our first people we have tonight is Coach Charles Marshall from West Virginia State. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Oh man, no problem at all. We've been trying to, connect for a couple of weeks now. We finally got our schedules together, man. I'm glad to have you on the show, man. Real quick, did you guys play this year or?
Yes, we was one of the fortunate ones. I think we're in the Mountain East Conference.
Okay.
We did a modified schedule, it's 12 teams total in our conference. So typically we play everyone twice, but we cut that down. They split the divisions up to North and South, so we played the teams that was in the South Division this year twice, and then the teams that was in the North Division, we played them once. So
okay.
we did get an opportunity to play, and man, hats off to our administration as well as the Mountain East for making sure that we was able to do it safely. We had to get tested 3 times a week, so it was quite a deal as far as how they went about it. But I think they did it the correct way, and we was able to get through it.
Okay, that's good to hear. How'd you guys do this year?
We didn't do as well as I wanted us to do, but we did better than we did the previous year. Out of the 12 teams, we finished 5th. Had an early exit in the first round of the conference tournament, so again, not the way we wanted to finish, but we definitely had some bright spots this past season, and what we got to look forward to is all of our main players is returning, so ended up with 2 players that made second team all conference this year. So we got a bright future ahead for next season, and I'm looking forward to coaching them up.
So did you have any seniors that are going to take advantage of that extra year for next year?
We had one young lady. We actually had 2 seniors on the team this year. One was and fortunately they technically only had 1 year. One of them is not going to take the extra year. But the other one will take the extra year.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask how many incoming freshmen do you have coming in?
Right now we have one, Imaya, who's from Georgia. Looking forward to adding her to the mix this year.
Yeah, you got to steal with Imaya. I mean, man, she can play.
That's what everybody keeps saying, man. And I got to give a shout out to Coach Miller over at Peak Performance, as well as her high school coach,
Coach Morton. Yeah, Coach definitely, Morton, Coach Morton. Definitely. Both of them are real good people. Definitely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They spoke extremely highly of her, man. And when I got a chance to see her play and just speak with her, she was a no-brainer for our program.
Definitely. When I saw that she signed with you guys, I said, oh man, I think she'll do very well up there. And I mean, she's a grinder, man. I'm very familiar with her. Actually, my son goes to school with her, so I knew all about her. So it was just a no-brainer when I saw her. I featured her on the podcast a couple times, because I was like, hey, America, she can play.
Yeah,
they better thank goodness she's not 6'3". I'm telling you.
And I'm hoping she grows a little bit over the
summer. I'm telling you, but yeah, work ethic, man, you won't have any problem. Good student. Like I said, hats off to you for being able to land that prospect, because I know as you signed her, more people were starting to tune in, and actually she made all region again this year.
She did.
So yeah, you locked her up at a good time, man. At a good time.
I definitely think we got a steal. I think she's someone that's going to definitely bring a level of toughness and just competitiveness that we was lacking this year. One of our weaker parts of our game was we just had a hard time rebounding the basketball. And I
Okay.
think she would definitely come in and add to that piece to our team.
Definitely.
I like to call her. She's like a Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good description right there. She is tough on the boards. So tell me, how long have you been at West Virginia State?
This will be going into this was ending my 5th year.
Okay. 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 And previous to West Virginia State, where were you at?
I was at Glenville State College before
Okay.
I accepted the position here at West Virginia State. Yeah, and
Gotcha.
And before
now,
that, I was at Berea College.
At Berea? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, West Virginia State, is that an HBCU?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. And you know, a lot of people wouldn't know that because I was a little shaky. I said, I think it's an HBCU, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it kind of gets a bad vibe a little bit just because I like to call it a non-traditional HBCU because it's a diverse campus.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But we do a lot of you know we definitely got the title HBCU, and there's a lot of good stuff here that we offer in that regard.
So let me ask you this: you're one of the few schools as an HBCU that don't play in a traditional HBCU conference,
mm-hmm.
correct?
Yes.
And I can only think of maybe probably about 6 or 7 off the top of my head, if that.
Yeah, it's not many. I know Bluefield State, which is in West Virginia as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's one of those things that we're in the Mountain East, and I think it's more to do with the location. Where we are. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to be in the conference just for travel purposes and to get to games and stuff. It just makes more sense because there's so many schools here in West Virginia.
Understood. So in your time there or before your time, have you guys won the conference or been to the tournament in the past couple of years?
That we have not been to the tournament yet. We're going to get there next year, though. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay.
But we have, we you know, when I first took over this program, it didn't have a huge tradition. Hadn't been very successful over the years. And we built it from the ground up, and we still working, still not where we want to be, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. Like I said, this year was in this shortened season, we finished 5th, which is not the best. That my first year we finished 4th. So you know we're getting there, and we're moving in the right direction. We just got to keep grinding, keep working, keep recruiting the right players.
Okay. So when you're recruiting players, so, you know, since you just enlightened me, you know, your HBCU, what majors stand out at West Virginia State?
Well, you know, we have a lot to offer. You know, not many people know that Earl Lloyd is a graduate of West Virginia State, which is the first African American to play in the NBA and to also coach in the NBA. You got Katherine Johnson, who the movie Hidden Figures was just made after of, who was also a graduate of West Virginia State. You know, it's a whole lot of a ton of history here at the university, and it's a beautiful campus. Got one of the best facilities in the country, hands down. So you know, we have a ton to offer, not only from a HBCU side, but just from a educational side as well, from different majors and stuff that we have.
Okay. So from being able to get into the school, what would a student athlete need to be able to be accepted to West Virginia State?
They coming out just the from an admission standpoint, you would just need a 2.5 to get in, and you got to meet the ACT requirements that the university has, and you know it's all sorts of, and I'm just speaking not just in basketball terms, but just from a general education terms, it's all sorts of academic money that the university offers to students as well. You know, we're not a fully funded program, so we got to mix it and match it the best we can to attract the the right students, the right student athletes that we're looking for.
And you know what? You just touched a great point. So for parents out there, and Coach Marshall can speak to this, when you just said you piece together your scholarships, you usually mean you piece together partial academic, partial athletic, and usually Pell if you're Pell eligible, correct?
Most definitely, yes.
Got you.
And it also depends on what we got coming in and what we're losing for that year as well.
Understood. But the point I was getting at is a prospect becomes more attractive when they're over that 3.0, 3.5 range, because you're able to get more academic money from them, correct?
Yes, most definitely.
And that's one of those things I've been preaching on this show. You know, a lot of people tend to take that for granted a lot of times, that you become more attractive as a prospect the higher your GPA is. And, you know, every coach besides you have co-signed on that, because that's just the outright truth. Number one, it saves on your budget. It helps you help that student athlete as well. And it's just a situation where, you know, you have more opportunities as well, the better your grades are, just plain and simple.
You do. And you know, at the end of the day, typically the students that have better grades is going to be the students that's more likely going to do the correct things. And, you know, that's what we're looking for in a player. Not only do they have to be good on the basketball court, but we want people that's going to be good in the classroom as well.
Definitely, because you don't want to have to chase them down, making sure they go into class.
That's one thing I tell the player and the parents is, I'm not no babysitter, and I'm not going to hold your kid's hand. They're here to get an experience. But, you know, when my time in college, you know, that was a time that you find yourself and you grow up and you become independent, and you don't have to depend and rely on mom and dad all the time.
Definitely. And, you know, that's one of the things, like you just said, then, you know, they're leaving the nest, and part of leaving that nest is growing up and taking responsibility, because your parents can't hold your hand the rest of your life.
Nope.
So, you know, I agree 100% on that. So, you know, basically, let me ask this as well. Are you big on taking JUCO prospects as well?
Yeah, we'll take them where we can, man. It depends on what we need, but yes, I've had we got a couple JUCO players on our roster now. One who had an amazing year this year, coming from Coffeyville out in Kansas.
Oh yeah, out in Kansas, that's a great program, men's and women's.
Yeah.
That's a great program.
Yeah, they usually always successful, and you know, anytime I get some young ladies from there, they turn out to be pretty good. And
definitely,
she's one of them that she'll be coming back next year. So I'm excited about that.
So okay, so one of the other things, and you know, just picking your brain a little bit. So are you following the trend? Are you into taking into the transfer portal and grabbing some of those young ladies as well?
It's, you know, I've been I get in it, but I really haven't had a whole lot of success with it. You know, I do look at it. You know, it's there. It's a tool. You got to use it.
Definitely.
You know, but I haven't had a lot of success. Me and my assistant, we're looking at some players on there now. But you gotta take a chance and see if any of those players can come in and help your program. But
that makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
But you just gotta be careful. You know, kids that are looking to transfer, there's a reason.
Sometimes it's baggage. Correct.
You just gotta make sure you do your research and you know, sometimes the situation just wasn't a good fit, and then they come to your place and it can be a perfect match. So, you know, you just got to weigh all the options out and talk to the kid and see who they really are, and tell them about who you are and what your values are and what you're trying to accomplish with your program and what you expect from them, and you know, and see if it can work.
One of the other ones as well. So I mentioned JUCO, I mentioned transfer. What about international players?
I've had a couple over my years, and the ones I've had have been pretty good players. The ones that I've gotten, though, I've gotten through JUCO, so I haven't you know, really tapped into the actual international. I got some contacts that I stay in touch with from the international side, but nothing's really panned out from getting a player straight from Europe or somewhere based off of one of my contacts. It was always through the JUCO route.
Okay, got you. So I mean, you basically doing the full gambit like any D1 school. I mean, you have to. I mean, because that's one thing I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure when you're recruiting kids, some kids are like, oh, it's D2 coach, and it's not D1. What's your spiel on that when somebody approaches you in that manner?
I just sell them on who our program is and what we're trying to accomplish and where we're trying to go.
Okay.
I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm upfront. I'm honest. One thing about us is we play a different system. We play a different style. A lot of people like to say it's unorthodox. I do a 5-in, 5-out substitution pattern. I press the entire game.
Okay.
And we get after it. This past year we're second in the nation in scoring, and that's what we do. We shoot a ton of threes, and what I'm telling you now is what I tell the parents and the recruits that we're talking to, because I want them to have a full understanding of what they're going to be getting themselves into when they get here. So it's no hidden agenda. It's something. It's not something I told you that within the recruiting process. What I said is what we do, and you got to be on board with that from day one as you come in here, or you're gonna have a hard time. I want people to have a good experience, and that's not always the case. And you just gotta manage it and be able to get through it and focus on the players that want to be a part of your program.
So let me ask you this. So, and if I was the parent of a daughter and we were considering West Virginia State, for me, I like to think long term. Would you be open to, let's just say, the prospect did her 4 years and she went off and she wanted to come back and get her master's and maybe thought about coaching? Would you be open to that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I've had players do that in the past. That's one thing about me. I want it to be a lifelong relationship, not just something that for the 2 years or the 4 years that we're going to be together. I think that's what makes good coaches great coaches is the relationships that they build.
Absolutely.
So I want to be able to once you're gone and 10, 15 years from now, you call me up and say, Coach, I want you at my wedding. That's the type of relationships that I want to have. So, so to answer your question, yeah, most definitely, I wouldn't be opposed to having players come back and help the program. And typically those are the best players that's going to keep your program going and keep people, and especially with the way times is changing. You see all this gray in my hair. I'm getting older by the minute.
Man, you don't have to tell me. I'm right with you. Trust me.
So it's always good to have some young people around your program to keep you and everybody accustomed to what's going on, because
some of them are keeping up with the times too.
Yes.
So they look at us as old school sometimes, so are out of touch. But that's good, and I commend you for that. And a lot of times people understand HBCUs are very much needed because sometimes people don't get the opportunity at other schools where HBCU will reach out, and that can mean all the difference in the world in a young man or a young woman's life. And I highly praise any HBCU because they're needed, and they're still needed to this day. They were needed for different reasons back in the day, but they're still needed now because a lot of HBCUs will take a chance. And, I have no problem in saying this as well. They would take chances on kids that were academically not fit yet. So a lot of times they'll embrace them. And I've seen that with my own eyes where I've seen kids be embraced and they had to take some remedial classes starting out, and they still thrive and end up graduating. So, if it wasn't for that HBCU showing that love and, taking a chance on that kid, you just never know what might have happened or what might not have happened. So I've always been an advocate for HBCUs and will continue to be. So, when we first met and started connecting, I said, oh, yeah, I mean, outside of knowing, Amaya was going to your school, just learning more about the program. And I was like, oh, yeah. And plus, I'm from Pittsburgh, too. So,
okay. So, yeah, you're not far.
Yeah, I'm not far at all. So, even though I live in Atlanta, I'm originally from Pittsburgh. So, I'm familiar with West Virginia State and, Fairmont State and all the other schools in West Virginia because they weren't far away at all. And, I have some friends that live in Wheeling as well and Weirton. So, very familiar with the state as well. I look at this, I tell you, I'm rooting for you because, it's just a matter of time if you keep building that program. And if you start recruiting Atlanta the way you are now, it's going to be a problem. And, with people watching the show tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if more people start to, you start to get some DMs and you start to get some messages saying, Coach, tell me some more about your program. I mean, I already know Coach Miller, he speaks highly of you. Coach Morton does as well. So you have two great allies right there. And, with you meeting Coach Cameron as well, that's another great ally. So it's just a matter of time where you start pulling some more Amayas and even more. And, from that perspective, I definitely thank you for coming on the show because I just look at this like you're one of those coaches where I'll probably be sitting back in 1 or 2 years and see you in the conference championship. Oh, man, I talked to him on my show, man. I knew he was going to make it, And, it's just one of those things, man, it's just always you see a passion of coaching and, the drive to help young ladies, man. I couldn't commend you more for that. And I always ask a question as we get closer to the end of the show. When you're recruiting somebody, and, this is just kind of your pitch to the Southeast as well, why West Virginia State?
Well, it's you want to get somewhere that is going to be like home. And, I've been here now for going over 10 years. And for me, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. Lived in Georgia, Kennesaw. So, and right now West Virginia is home for me. I got 3 daughters. Live here with my wife, and this is our home. And it's a beautiful state with the university is a great university that takes care of their students and they treat you like family, and that's what I like about it.
Now I'm gonna stall you out because the producer of the show is from Louisville, and with him being from Louisville, I never hear the end about the Cardinals. But please tell me you're a UK fan.
Most definitely not. That's the other team. My college coach used to always say we was the JV team and they was the varsity team. UK's the JV team, Louisville's the varsity team.
and it's funny that we're even talking about that. So I'm working right now. I'm actually up at in Lexington right now working at UK Healthcare. Oh, really?
Yeah, Lexington's only about an hour 30 minutes from here.
Really? Oh, man, yeah. I might just slide over there for the weekend and check out the campus.
Come on. I'm free. I'm available. You let me know.
Oh, definitely, man. I will definitely do that. I had no idea it was that close.
Yeah.
And, I'm just joking because, I always used to tease him because, like, he's a huge Louisville fan. Yeah. Huge Louisville fan. And
you gotta be.
I've learned. Trust me. And
we're our own state.
Yes, you guys are. And it's funny because now that I'm up here in Lexington, I tease some of the Kentucky people. I was like, oh, I'm thinking about being a Louisville fan, and they look at me crazy when I say, like, oh no, you don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to do that. But the following and the passion. Now I've always been a follower of Kentucky basketball, from high school and college as well. It is insane. The following of basketball. Pennsylvania is really considered a football state. Yeah. And, the one thing I used to always envy at Kentucky and Indiana is the passion for basketball you guys have here.
Yes.
It's one of another. I mean, I can't think of too many other places that have that passion. You know, like New York City is its own place, Chicago's its own place, but this is kind of like it's a Midwest feel, and it's not a big city feel, but it's like everybody follows. Everybody follows basketball, even the young ladies, the families, the moms, the grandmas. They are very. I'm like, oh my goodness, man, this is crazy. But I can see how this could lead you to the path you're at now because, I mean, the passion is it's insane here. I mean, I love it. I love it, just seeing the way people are so passionate about basketball here. But, yeah, I tease him all the time because we went to a UAB game when Louisville played UAB in Birmingham. And it was just as many Louisville fans there as UAB fans.
They travel, man. Yes. UK and Louisville fans travel. They gonna go.
Yeah. Now, being here at UK, this reminds me of Penn State a lot. This reminds me a lot of Penn State, like the following, and I mean everything's blue this, blue that. I said, yeah, this is kind of like Penn State, and Louisville to me is kind of like Pitt, where it's an inner city school, and most that's why we've always been cool. Because I said this reminds me of Pitt, and I'm a Pitt fan. I'm a big Pitt fan.
Okay,
so Penn State the way you look at Kentucky.
You got to be a Pitt fan. You got to rep where you're from, man.
Oh, definitely, no question, all day.
Who's your producer?
That's his name is Madre Allen. You trust me, he'll be following you in a minute, probably after the show. He'll definitely be following you. Because the one thing I will say, you all stick together from Louisville. You all stick together.
We got to.
Yeah, and he's a huge basketball guy. He's probably already followed you already. Trust me. Trust me. Well, Coach, one thing I want to thank you for coming on the show. I do not want this to be the last time. And if there, and see, he put up there, you see, he put go cards already. Don't even get him started. Do not get him started.
I love it.
Boo! Don't get me started with that. Boo!
Y'all gonna get me in trouble with my AD. I ain't supposed to be talking about Louisville on here.
But Coach, I definitely want to thank you for coming on. And it's just one of those things where, if there's anything we can do, down here in Atlanta, you got any questions, by all means, you met Chris Cameron. The thing I love about Georgia is it's a big family. So, you already know, with Coach Miller and Coach Morton. So, any allies you have, man, we more than glad to help you, whatever we can, man. And, I definitely speak highly of West Virginia State. As like I said, I'm going to slide on over there if it's 64 is that close. I had no idea.
Yeah, come on, man. Like I said, I'm free this weekend. I'll definitely show you around.
Okay. Yeah. Well, after the show, we'll talk some more, man. I mean, I'm excited to see the campus because, I advocate for the men's and women's side, and anything I can do for both ends, man. I'm all for it.
Okay.
Definitely all for it. Cool. Well, Coach, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We will definitely be in touch, and this will not be the last time you come on this show, man. I promise you on that.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you for having me, man. I'm looking forward to more appearances.
Oh, definitely, Coach Marshall. You have a good one, man. We'll definitely be in touch, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. That was Coach Marshall. Great guy, from the day I met him, I have to give Louisville half credit because, just like my boy who's the producer, there must be some good dudes to an extent that they all right. I'm not going to gas them all up. They okay. But no, in all seriousness, my experiences with people from Louisville has been great. And, that's just another example. I had no idea he was from Louisville. It's just when we started talking, we just started connecting. And, of course, we shared something in common with basketball, and we just ran with it. And I wanted him to be on the show, and he was all open arms to it. And, I look forward to seeing West Virginia State do some things. I'm excited to see Amaya Fortenberry go up there and definitely do some things. People, if you don't know about her, she is a rebounding machine. That's what stands out about her game. If she was taller than 5'10" or 5'11", I promise you, more people would be like, oh, I got to have her. Because her tenacity on the boards is something vicious. If you ever get a chance, look at her on Huddle or YouTube. She's tough. She's definitely tough. She definitely reps Georgia well. And Coach Morton, you did a great job with her and Diamond Jackson as well. Our next guest, let me make sure he's ready to go. Give me 1 second here. That's my guy here, 100%. Oh, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. First off, man, before I even go into thank you, man, congratulations, bro. Hey, listen, I called the NCAA already, bro, because some things is going on up there, man. I can't believe, man. I was so excited when you guys won, man. I was like, you would have thought I was there, man, because, bro, everybody in Atlanta's pulling for you, brother. And man, I was just so happy for you, man. In the first year, man, it's incredible, man. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it, man. The credit goes to these players, man, and how hard they've worked in the midst of everything, COVID protocols, not starting when everybody else was starting, and to my staff, man, and how hard we work every day to try to get these guys just 1% better every day and stack small wins.
Definitely, man. I mean, I can't wait to get up there, man. We didn't get a chance to get up there this year, right. But everybody talking about the chicken spot. Look, I got it on Yelp already. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready for the chicken spot.
We got the chicken spot. We got Southern Soul, which can give you your meat from the grill. They can give you your ribs. They can give you whatever you want from Southern Soul. So we got some spots for you now.
Oh, don't worry. Don't even worry. Like I said, I will leave Dre if he don't want to come. I will leave him. He knows. So, but man, one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about, even though you are a killer on the recruiting trail, man, Voorhees is coming out of nowhere, man. Like, bro, you got Voorhees. Like, when I look at all my NAI posts, Voorhees, you're starting to see people starting to talk about the program. So now you're starting to gain that momentum. And like next year, well, first off, before we can go into next year, bro, what you did on the recruiting trail, I was like, yeah, I said, I'm going to have to see if I can call Crime Stoppers, get a couple dollars. Because, man, you did an excellent job on the recruiting trail, man. I was like, man, when I was looking at the kids you pulled, I was like, whoo. And Huff, let me ask you this, man. And, you know this better than anybody, man. That transfer portal's out of control right now, man.
Ooh. I just sent a text to some guys and said, have they taken a look at that transfer portal today? And I don't think high school kids really understand that. Mm-hmm. And so we're talking about how well we did on the recruiting trail. And really, number one, we try to build a relationship with the guys that we're recruiting. We don't go and offer and recruit a whole bunch of guys. We lock in on some guys and we really try to get to know them because we want guys who want to be here. They want to be here just as much as we want them. But that being said, high school guys aren't understanding this transfer portal it's outrageous right now. And so you've got to understand what's out there for you. And one of the things that has helped us, honestly, in this the recruiting battles, the recruiting trail this year was the fact that because of COVID, because of the transfer portal, we just wanted to give kids opportunities. And we told them that. We told them they may be better than our level. But if they are, they got to come down here and prove it, and nothing's going to be given to them. Yeah. But we stayed on top of them. We told them what we're about. We believe in playmakers and monsters. Either you're a playmaker who can make plays for yourself or somebody else, or you're a monster, which means you control the paint. You get rebounds, you block shots, you can get buckets around the rim. And, we try to play, positionless basketball that way with monsters and playmakers. And we believe in a couple of things. We believe in family. We believe in love and grace. And we believe in being a star where your feet are planted at. And so we told our guys, come to Voorhees and be a star where your feet are planted at. What happens after that, let the Lord take care of it.
Definitely. So, Huff, let me ask this. So, for the people that don't know about Voorhees yet, if I'm going to Voorhees, what does Voorhees specialize in if I want to major in something where Voorhees is known for?
We've got one of the top biology programs. We've got one of the top sports management programs. And we've got one of the top mass communication programs. Those are our three biggest ones. But something that we also offer here is the opportunity for cybersecurity. There are not a lot of places here.
That's big.
A lot of campuses anywhere that can offer that. Once you step out and graduate, you can already have started your intern here and have a job once you graduate. So those are four big things that we offer our people here. If you get in mass communications, we have our own radio station that's on campus that doesn't just broadcast stuff that's dealing with Voorhees, but it broadcasts to the whole, county, Bamberg County and beyond here in South Carolina. So that's really big. Our sports management program is really, really big. I want to shout out to Dr. Marcus Amos, who's our faculty athletic representative. He's a big part of that department. And those guys really get involved, like with things that are going on. They do their internships, they do their research and stuff. And then obviously the biology department, people that want to go, a major in medicine, we can sell that because there are not a lot of programs that have great biology departments like ours.
Got you, man. Hey, man, like I said, one of the other things, since I had you on here, Huff, and I know you can speak to this, and I just spoke to Coach Marshall about this. Huff, and this is for any kid and any parent listening tonight, how attractive does it make you to pull a kid that you can give some academic money to, man?
Oh, it's really attractive because I don't think people understand, if you're not at the Division I level, then there's a certain either money amount or scholarship amount there is. Whether it's you only have 8 scholarships or you only have this amount of money that you can use. So anytime you can use academic money, especially on a high school kid, then the sky's the limit. And I think a lot of people got caught into the game of, well, you don't have to take the SAT or ACT. Well, they kind of did that last year because of how COVID came about. But this year is a little bit different. And that's just to get into the school. When we're talking about giving somebody academic money, you've got to have those test scores to match up with your GPA so we can give you some academic money.
Yeah.
And nobody, when you're on that basketball team, nobody's asking, well, if he's a full athletic ride or is he a full academic ride? They just
That's true.
A player. That's all they're looking for. He's a player.
No doubt. And man, I hate when people have that stigma attached to say, oh, he's not, is it a full ride? When you sign, like you just said it, you said it best, Huff. When you sign that letter of intent, nobody knows if there's academic money attached to it, athletic money.
Right.
They don't know if you're a full Pell Grant or you're what's the Georgia
Hope Scholarship.
The Hope Scholarship. Yeah, you're not a Hope. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? You going to school, you're getting to play with only 7% of high school students get to do. So why would you be worried about what other people are saying, man? You're going to live your dream, man. Kids and parents, stop worrying about levels. Because number one, I'm telling y'all, starting next year, it's already started. Man, NAI is competing and down to the buzzer with D1s now. I mean, especially with the way the transfer
we had an NAI program, I think last week that beat somebody, just last week.
Really?
Our program. Our Lady of the Lakes, if I'm not mistaken. But it is, man. There are players at all these levels, and I don't think parents really understand that. A lot of times, it's just like in coaching. I say a lot of times coaches only see the shiny suits from the coaches on the games that are on ESPN. And I think parents and players only see the players and the teams that are on ESPN all the time, which is a lot of times just a high major level. You'll get some mid-major stuff, if you're watching ESPN 3 or ESPN Plus. But if you come down to our level, you come to Division II or even Division III, and definitely JUCO, there are some dudes that can really go. You've got Division I transfers at our level. You've got Division II transfers. You've got guys that for some reason got overlooked, and maybe they stopped playing a couple of years, but they still can go. And I think that's what you're going to really see at the NAIA level, even more so next year, where if coaches are really in tune, which is what I try to do, is that, I get about 100 emails a day from kids or parents that you're trying to, or trainer or coach or whoever that you're trying to shift through. But the thing is, even at our level, we can't take the 3rd, 4th, or 5th best guy. We got to take the 1st or 2nd best guy on the team.
Yeah.
We've got 4 high school commits for us right now, and all 4 of those guys were all region players on their team. They were the best player on their team, and they were all region on their team, all conference, because I had 2 coming from different states. So to us, that's big. I'm a little bit different. Some NAIA programs don't want to take high school kids. I want to take high school kids because I believe in development. So that we're going to always have a mixture of high school kids along with some JUCO kids, along with some transfer kids. But I cannot take the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th best player on the high school team. I'm just being honest, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I understand, listen, if you don't know anybody that's out there, please pay attention to NAI. Fortunately, I knew about NAI coming up because from being from Pittsburgh, Point Park had a good program.
Mm-hmm.
And with them having a good program, a lot of kids from the city would go there and they ended up being All-Americans. And what opened my eyes, they started to get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
They were going overseas. And I was like, wait a minute. And it just messed up my focus, Huff. Like, not really messed up my focus, but it changed it. Like, man, people are coming here and what's the long game?
Yep.
Because they were going there and doing their thing.
And I tell people, because I've been around this business a long time, and I've coached high school basketball, some high level players. I've coached Division I basketball. But when those agents and those people overseas, I'm not even talking about G League and NBA. I'm just talking about overseas. They don't want to see somebody who plays 6 minutes a game. Yeah. That's not gonna help your tape. They want to see somebody who really impacted the game and they can really showcase themselves, whether on Synergy or Huddle, once the coach or whoever sends that film to them, if they want to go play overseas. It's a battle every day. And I think a lot of times what happens, even in that transfer portal, what you see is you get guys who go places and they really didn't do their research of whether it was coaching staff, whether it was the fit of the school, whether it was the style of play, whether it was could they even play at that level. I'm up front with our guys when we recruit them, and I tell them if you want to come to a place with a fancy gym and a big city, then we probably got to stop talking already. But if you want to come work and be able to get in the gym every day and have people that care about you and help you develop, then Voorhees is the place for you.
America, I co-sign on this brother 100%, man. Definitely. I mean, just to see the stuff he done from the high school level, we all knew in Atlanta it was just, nobody knew it was going to be this fast, but everybody knew you were going to do something special at Voorhees, man. I mean, and just your work ethic speaks for itself, man. And, man, we're proud of you, man. And, we support you 100%, man. Anytime we see, Huff, that's my guy, everybody says that. So, if everybody's saying the same thing, it must mean something. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to your character. It speaks to your hustle, and it encourages, not only does it encourage us as well, but, we supporting you, man. And just like I was telling Coach Marshall before you came on, Huff, I was like, man, the Atlanta culture is something so different, man. And you were so huge before you got to Voorhees, embracing for people that were trying to get into this, man. And, people, I have no shame in saying this, when I first met Huff, I was new to the game. I was green as I don't know what, but I mean, I knew the game, but I didn't know the ins and outs of the business. And you were one of the first people that embraced me. And I used to ask you, I'd text you at 12 o'clock at night. And like, yo, do this, do that, do this. And then you're like, oh, think about this. And, sure enough, I was taking notes. And, man, I'll be the first to thank you, man. Definitely be the first to thank you, brother.
I just think,
you're a good guy, man.
I just think this is, I think, number one, I'm grateful because that my parents raised me that way. Rest their soul. But I just think, that Atlanta culture is something where we compete now. We want to beat each other every time we play each other, but we also want to see the other person win, man. We want to see them win and get better, whether it's, it doesn't matter what level you're on. I'm just so respectful and happy that I was brought up in that culture with some great coaches who helped mold me, some great coaches who looked out for me. And so you always want to leave a place better than you found it. So why not, pick yourself up or pick up, any other coach who wants some knowledge. I always tell them it's about your work ethic. And it's not so much about building relationships and networking. I think that word networking comes up a lot, but in reality, you got to build authentic relationships.
Agree. Not just getting a phone number.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I'll speak to that, man. Like, when I met you, we shook hands and, and the relationship grew over time because, it was, okay, I'm getting a feel for you. You're getting a feel for me, man. And, and I was just comfortable with it. I was like, oh, man, I would speak like, if anybody, I'd be like, oh, yeah, see him, see Huff. That's your guy. And you were so involved in everything, man. I mean, so it wasn't just beyond coaches. number one, you knew all of the coaches outside of that, but like you said, you had authentic relationships with them. So when it came time for conference calls, they all knew you, they all respected you, man. So it was just only a natural fit. And I was just like, hey, man, I'm just trying to get on. And you were like, hey, consider this. And it, man, like I said, I have those texts to this day, man, and be like, man, I was thankful for it, man. Definitely thankful for it, brother. I appreciate it 100%, man. You know,
respect, man. I think that's what we need more of in our business. You know, everybody's trying to think about the next job. Here we are in a crazy time. Like we just finished practice before we got on this call, and you know, I'm looking and there's some great people who are losing jobs in our business. Like I don't think they understand once you pass the high school round that it's a business, and for whatever reason, you know, whether it's wins or whatever, there are a lot of great people who are losing their jobs. So that's why you got to be authentic, man, in this business, because, you know, if it hasn't humbled you yet, it will. You know, this coaching thing will humble you very quickly. But I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful and blessed to be in the position that I am. And I tell people it's all about the work ethic that I had coming up through the grind. You know, I was a JV coach for the girls and boys team and the varsity assistant for girls and boys one time. And I've been long days and long nights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, you know, like I said, when you get to the point where you're at now, you appreciate it even more because of the grind. It wasn't given to you. You know what I mean?
And it's still a grind now. I know.
You don't
understand when you know, I don't get to fly and go recruiting where I'm getting in my car and I'm driving. So when y'all saw me in Atlanta sometimes, it meant I left here 3.5 hours ago just so I could get there. I learned from my former boss, Martin Byington, and if I'm going somewhere, make sure I can see more than one game, more than one team in one day, so you can kill two birds with one stone. And he had a saying that I keep to this day: find a way. And that was one of the biggest things that I still use to this day. We try to find a way to get things done. We don't have excuses. We talked about it in practice. You know, we talked about on my coaching podcast with Mondre about the sacrifice aspect. Well, we added something to it this week: sacrifice and no excuses. There are no excuses of why we can't get it done. Just find a way. And I think that's how it has to be, even in coaching. You know, we can talk about every job that you can have, whether you're coaching in the business world. There are going to be things that you don't like about it. There are going to be things that maybe don't sit well with you. But are you going to use it as an excuse of why you can't get certain things done? I'm not. I'm just going to find a way so we can get it done.
Definitely. Hey, man, when is the game for not the conference, the NAIA tournament, excuse me.
National tournament. You know, I'm going to publish a little bit. Only the 9th time we've been. You know, obviously we've had success here lately. You know, 2 out of the last 3 years of winning the conference and going. But it starts on Friday. It's the opening round of the NAIA tournament. 48 teams. We're blessed to be one of those 48. Blessed to be at HBCU as part of that 48. Us, Stillman, Talladega, and Xavier. So only 4 men's HBCU teams. So we play Friday versus Bethel, Kansas, and Wichita, Kansas. It'll be my first time going to Wichita. I've been a lot of places, but I haven't been to Wichita. So we'll fly out on Wednesday. You know, I had a couple of friends that said, "Y'all gonna bust that?" No, we gonna fly. Like that, I want you to understand. Like everything we do, we're trying to do it at a tip-top level, at a Division I level. So we're flying out, and we're gonna be there the whole weekend. You know, our job is not to be happy getting there. Our job is to try to get a W or 2 once we get there, so we can get to the final round of 16 in Kansas City next week.
Yeah. I not this year, but I know next year I plan to go to the NAIA tournament next year because that's always been one on my bucket list. And now that it was to go just as, you know, a fan, but now I'm going, you know, as media, and I'm looking forward to that next year, man. Definitely looking forward to that.
You know, obviously Coach Ireland and I, who's the head coach of Dalton State, we used to work together at Alcorn when I was a Division I assistant. And he told me the atmosphere that you have, because obviously during COVID, they cut it down from 64 to 48. But it used to be everybody descending upon Kansas City or Sioux Falls. And because there was a Division I and Division II in NAIA.
Yeah.
Most people don't understand that now there's not a Division I, Division II. Everybody's together. So you would have 64 teams in Kansas City trying to battle it out in 5 days to see who was a champion. And he said that atmosphere, you would get a game starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and a game ending at 9 o'clock. Like that gym was just all day long. You getting games and you could just sit there and watch great basketball.
But Huff, here's the other thing, man. There's scouts at those games, man. That's what people don't understand. There's scouts at these games looking at, there's NBA scouts there, there's G League scouts, and there's overseas scouts. And, man, one thing about this podcast, man, I've been advocating, for NAI and D3 because I'm like, listen, people are going overseas. Yep. They're going overseas from NAI and D3. And, that D1 or bust mentality and not from you being a good guy and, you being someone I consider a friend, it burns me to hear people, well, coach, because I know what type of recruiter you are. And, for a kid, not even to really listen to you and kind of trying to blow you off because it's Voorhees where they don't understand it. And then 4 or 5 months, they're calling back saying, it's either them or their parents saying, hey, do you still have an open spot? No, man, you've moved on. And it's not that I take it personal because I understand it, but I just wish people would take the knowledge and at least study it because that D1, you're going to sit on the bench and you're going to transfer anyway. Or, like you say, go develop and you never know where this can take you. You never know.
And you're exactly right. We talk about that love and grace as part of our program, which it goes into truth and trust. And we try to be truthful with our guys so they can trust us. But I tell any guy on my team, and I'm just straightforward with it. And if other coaches want to use it, it's fine. But they can come here and do what I feel they can do because I'm recruiting them. We are recruiting them, and we feel they can help us. If they come here and do what they're supposed to do, I will never hold a kid back if a bigger school at a higher level decides they want to recruit them. I've done my job because we talk about it at a Division I level. A low major program wants a mid-major player. A mid-major program wants a high major. A high major program wants NBA players, right?
Yeah.
So here at the NAIA level, I'm trying to get guys that aren't NAIA level players. I'm trying to get guys who are better than that. And so if we do that, then it's a possibility we could lose some kids. But it's also a possibility we could keep them because of the relationships that we built and how we continue to develop them down here. And so that's our job of what we're doing, to just try to keep that truth and trust, allowing these kids to get in the gym, understanding what our culture is about. We're going to compete every day. You're going to get better. And you've got to understand that at this level, whether it's NAIA, Division III, JUCO, Division II, Division I, that any coach worth his salt is recruiting somebody that can potentially be better, probably not potentially, is better than you and going to have y'all compete for it every year.
Because they can change your program.
Yes.
Exactly.
Nobody's recruiting, in all honesty, nobody's recruiting somebody to say, oh, he can be the 10th man on my bench. Nobody's saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
But you got to understand who shows you the love. Like, who's showing you the love? Who saw in you what nobody saw at the very beginning when nobody was there offering you? And we've had some kids turn us down or not show us any love back once we showed them some love. And every no we get means a yes to somebody else. Somebody's going to fall in love with this program, like the 4 that we have committed to us.
But you know what, Huff? Here's my thing, man. It's not that they turn you down. It's the way that they do it. And I always look at it as etiquette because you never know where you have to humble yourself, as you just said, and give you a call and say, you know what, coach, I thought this, but obviously I was wrong. And if I treated you with respect, or the other one that burns me as well, as you know, I've left you on red, or calls going straight to voicemail and never return a call. I mean, you have every right to say, okay, no, you're not a fit for this program, just the way your character was. But if that kid at least, or parent at least listened to you and said, you know what, Coach Huff, we're going to keep looking, but I do like your program and I do want to give you the time of day. And I wanted to hear what you had to say. You can respect that more than somebody that thinks, or the word, they big time. You know what I mean?
I mean, I respected a kid who happened to get in the transfer portal very early on, which before most people have gotten in lately. and he said, Coach, I really want to stay at the Division I level. I can respect that. There's nothing, but if you don't respond to a text or respond to a call, then that shows us that's more about the character piece. And that's what we're really big on here is the character piece. And so we do a lot of research on guys that we're recruiting, or you won't see us have offered 20 and 25 guys or 5 guys at the same position, and whoever the first person is that says, yes, we're going to take it. No, we do a lot of research on the guys that we've offered and guys that we want here, because we want really good guys. We don't just want them to be good on the court. We want to have really good guys. And my team knows we don't just want to go to the NAIA tournament every year and win our conference and that kind of stuff. We want to have the highest GPA of all the athletic teams here at the school. When COVID ends, we want to get out in the community. And just things like that we want to have. And I think we've got some really good guys right now, the guys that were here before I got here, in addition to the guys that we brought in for this season.
Nice. So let me ask this, we've been talking about anything and everything. What do you need to get into Voorhees? What is the expectation grade-wise and test-wise to get into Voorhees?
Now, are we talking about just getting in, or are we talking about with some academic money?
Both. Both. I mean, to be honest, both.
Well, just to get in, I mean, obviously, it's not high, probably around a 2.5 and a test score that's comparable. I don't want to give out a blanket test score. I don't know those, but if you want to get some academic money, there's some ways. If you've got a 3.4 or higher and at least a 980 or a 960 on the SAT, then there's some money that can take care of most of your tuition. Up to about, I think that's about 60% of your tuition without having to touch anything athletically. Now, if you got a 3.8 and 1,000 on the SAT, then your whole tuition is paid for.
Ooh.
Now, there's a certain amount of those scholarships out there. Like, we don't have 100 of them. But there's a certain amount. And so that's why what we try to do in recruiting is to get our high school guys. We lock in on our high school guys early so we can give them that academic money that's out there early, not waiting until later to give that academic money out, when it may be gone.
That's huge, huh? A 3.8 and 1,000, and you go to Voorhees for free?
Yep.
Bro, and like you said, that don't even touch your budget right there. Nope. So, man.
And that's for out of state, Dave. If we talking about in state, then it's a 3.5 and a 960.
Oh, man.
So add that to getting some South Carolina kids, which we've been out and trying to do and build those relationships. So it's a really big thing for us to really lock in on the right kind of high school guys we want. Just because I think sometimes people think if you're getting academic money, then you aren't that good. No, it doesn't mean that.
Not true. Yeah, that's not true. That's not. Let me ask you this, Huff, and it just hit my mind. Huff, are you going? I know the answer to this because it makes sense for you. Would you show up at like the academic All-American camps?
Definitely. I mean, we've got a kid on our team who, if he's not our best shooter, he's our second best shooter, who is on academic money. And that was before I got here. Like, he's a great player. He's a player that we want to have continue to be in this program. Like, you gotta find kids like that, especially at our level. Every kid that you have on this team is not going to be a guy that you're going to give athletic money to. You got to find the diamonds in the rough. Those kids that maybe somebody didn't come look at.
One of them hidden gems, huh? And no, man. And for you, it makes all the sense because I know you're a developer. So you're taking a kid of character with grades. And if they're willing to work hard, like you always say, man, sky's the limit. Now, I ain't going to lie, huh? Them Army hours in the morning is a beast, though.
Hey, you got to understand that that's part of our development, man, and part of what we're trying to build, that competitive juice. We practice many times 6 a.m. in the morning. And part of that is because we want kids to have this academic life, right? And we want them to have the real atmosphere of being a college student, right? So if we can take care of that, then they've got all day with their classes. Now they can come in different times during the day and get some individual development in. We can do weights at night now, maybe 6:15 whatever. So it gives us some leeway of what we're trying to do, because it's harder at this level because you don't have an academic coordinator. You don't have someone in an office that can say, well, all these athletes can have a block of time away from class at this time. We don't get that at this level. So I've got to make sure when I can get them in, this is the best time, and we work around that.
Huff, I got another big question for you, man. And, a lot of people don't do it because they don't know. How important is it for you to see someone has taken the initiative that signed up for the NAIA clearinghouse?
Man, that's really big. It's really big because I'll put it like this. It's probably bigger for my JUCO guys and my transfers, because now I can really see where they stand in terms of them getting eligible in NAIA. 9 times out of 10, once I have a transcript and test scores from a high school kid, they can wait till they graduate to do the NAIA clearinghouse, because it's a little bit different than the NCAA clearinghouse.
Yeah, and that's why I brought that up, Huff. That's exactly why I brought that up. And for me, and that's what, from an AAU perspective, we've been big on this year. We wanted to get all our kids signed up for the NCAA clearinghouse as well as the NAIA clearinghouse. So that shows to you, like, hey, this kid is on it. You know what I mean? Because
it's always good when you have a kid that you don't have to stay on top of because, hey, you need to get this in, because it's a lot of work. Like, people don't even understand whether it's the NAIA or the NCAA clearinghouse. However many schools you've been to in high school, that's how many transcripts got to show up in that clearinghouse. And then you talk about, JUCOs or transfers, as many colleges you've been to, as many transcripts you got to show up. And sometimes that can be a good and a bad thing, because sometimes kids don't understand, especially once they get to the college level. Well, I took 2 classes over the summer at this different college than the one I was going to. Well, we need that transcript too.
Yeah. And, man, and that's why I was excited to have you on the show, because I know, I was going to touch on this stuff, and I know the answers you were going to give. And I just wanted the listeners to hear how important this is, not only from anybody else's program, but how important it is to Voorhees as well. And, man, like I said, outside of, man, the 1,000 on the SAT and a 3.8, you said?
Yes.
And you're going for free. I mean, parents, shoot. How much does it cost to go to Voorhees? Let me ask that.
If we're staying on campus, we're right at about $20,000. And here's the thing that people need to understand, because we get these questions because some people don't know and they don't understand till they get to wherever they're going. When you pay your $20,000 here at Voorhees, that's room and board and your meal plan. We're not talking about, you got to add $5,000 more to your meal plan. No, that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner 5 days a week, and brunch and dinner on the weekends.
Does that include the chicken spot?
Don't include the chicken spot, but we do have fried chicken Wednesdays now. So.
Okay. All right, I'll go with you on that, Huff. I'll go with that. I'll call mom for the chicken for a couple dollars for the chicken spot.
And our cafeteria really takes care of our guys, and they take care of the students, period. Like at Voorhees, we're just a big family. You're probably gonna come down here and get a different nickname than you had from where you were from. It's just how they roll down here, and they're gonna love you. I just can't wait to, us to get back to some sense of normalcy. If that's I think we shouldn't get to some parts of normalcy, but if we get back to some sense of normalcy, when we get all our students back on campus, so our guys can really see what it's about, and our recruits, guys that we want to recruit for the next year, can really come on campus and take visits and see the atmosphere at a home game. Like if you go to YouTube and watch some home games from last year and you see the crowds, man, it's electric in the gym.
I want to go to that Allen game, huh?
Oh, man.
Just from doing my little small research, that's the game I want to go to. I want to go to that Voorhees Allen game and see what that's about, man.
Always a rivalry. Coach James at Allen does a great job. They got us twice this year, so we owe them some payback next year. The big thing that's changed now is that Allen is a D2 school and we're NAIA, but we're still going to play. So because it's a
they went CIAA, right?
No, they went SIAC.
Okay. Why? Okay. Well, CIAA will be okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, man, I know, and I know Dre will agree with this 100%. What we do with our program, man, we like to take our kids on school to visit schools. man, Voorhees is definitely on the list, man. We've taken them. Yeah, we've taken them. And Huff, it's not. When I say this, we understand all of our kids probably are not going to go and play. But man, if it's one of those where a kid went and was so impressed that they went academically, to me that's a win as well, brother. You know what I mean?
Man, I'll tell you this: like, whether it's an AAU program, it's a parent, it's a kid. Use the places in your city and be resourceful and go watch practices and games.
Yeah.
Like in our area, you can get us here in Denmark, get your NAIA program and watch, and you can get a JUCO program and watch in Denmark Tech, which is right next door to us. But then you can go 30 minutes away in Orangeburg and watch South Carolina State, which is a D1, and Claflin, which is a D2.
Yeah.
So you get all those things and just that. And I haven't even reached Columbia yet, who you can hit even more. But in Atlanta, it's even better than that. Like in Atlanta, you can hit, okay, I want to watch high major. I want to watch mid-major. So I can go Georgia Tech, Georgia State. But then I can go to Morehouse and Clark and watch D2. Or I can go to Clayton State and watch D2. Whatever you want to say, So then you can go to Life and watch your NAIA program. You got a lot of things that you can do. And I think if you really want to play this thing at the next level, or you coach and you want your players to play at the next level, you got to watch all those practices. Because that would now determine if your kid can play and what level they possibly can play at.
And it opens their eyes, huh?
Yep.
It opens their eyes. Like, we've taken them, when we took them to Augusta, they were like, man, these guys can play. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, that's what we've been trying to tell y'all. This, this isn't a game. This is not a game. So, they in the end, a lot of them love the campus.
Right.
So I think it's, and I'm only speaking for myself, I can't speak for any other program. I think it's our duty outside of games, player development. I think that's a big part of this as well.
Yep.
Big part, man. And to meet a coach like you so they can understand, hey, this is what it takes. This is what's going to be expected of you. Yeah, you're going to catch them Army hours at 6 a.m. You're going to have to get it, because this is part of his program. This is what he expects. You're not going to be kicking it all day. You're going to be on a program. You're going to be on a schedule.
Yep.
Like you're on a job. You're going to be on a schedule. So you need to understand if this is for you or not for you, or maybe high school was what it was and you want to move on to doing something else in your life. At least you can see what it is instead of somebody selling you a bill of goods and get up there and be like, oh, Coach Huff, this ain't what I thought it was. It's too much. That's fine. At least you know what it is before you got there. And, instead of trying to oversell you, that's another thing I hate, man. And, we could talk for days, man, but I hate when people try and oversell you and be like, oh, well, Huff, I got this guy. He's all world, this, that, and the other. No, good and doggone well, he's not that guy.
Well, I mean, I think of many times you get people who will hit up college coaches and say, this guy can play for you. He'll be all conference in your league. And they haven't done enough research.
Yeah.
People on your team, the people in the conference, they haven't watched enough. And it's, for us, like, and I'm just honest, it's going to be tough for us to go recruit more guards right now. Like, all our guards are coming back. And 5 of our top 7 scorers are the guards that are coming back.
Hey, listen, people, until you watch some games, that was one of my favorite players from the door. I was like, who's this guy right here? I like him. He can shoot. Yeah. I like him. But now, with you saying that, you shocked me when the kid from the PSAC is coming to you. I was like, wait a minute. I know that conference, bro. I was like, how you get him? Because that's a high D2 conference, bro. Yeah. That's on the same level as the Peach Belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you got him. I was like, man, people need to understand what you're doing down there. I mean, yes, the transfer portal is crazy, but man, like you said, you trying to recruit up and you're getting those guys. And people need to understand what it is, man. Definitely. Definitely, man.
To finally have a full time to recruit for next year is going to be really good. Obviously when you got the job, I got the job late, and you're trying to put a team together in November, December to play in January. So now having a full time to really go out and recruit has been great. Building some great relationship with these South Carolina high school coaches. They've been really great. A lot of them have watched us practice. And as we get more out of COVID, you know, our practice will always be open. All you got to do is let us know. You can come, even if it's not the ones that, I mean, the ones that's not at 6 a.m. Maybe you don't want to come to those, but the other ones, you know, you're more than welcome to come. We're going to try to do some different things down here. With having a coaches clinic before the high school season starts. It's going to be free where they get to watch a practice, and then, you know, we just talk through some things. And like we said, we want to have a team camp this summer as long as COVID numbers keep going down, using us and Denmark Tech and Denmark High School. But we just try to build this thing up, and a lot of times it's not just for the guys we want to recruit. We're just trying to help guys get to the next level if they're willing to put in the work to do it.
Hey, man, listen, when you have that camp, man, let me know. I'll be there for that, man.
Oh, no doubt. It'll be in June, and we've already got some rumblings to start going. We want to get some Atlanta schools, but we definitely want all the schools around us here in South Carolina to be here. You know, just Atlanta schools, just come play some people that you don't normally play. You know, maybe you come down on your way to the South Carolina camp, or you come here before you go to another one of those big college team camps. But just come spend a day in Denmark, South Carolina, and play some guys down here and get some competition, and we'll love it.
Sounds like a plan, man. Definitely. My last question, you know, I always like to end with the same question, man. If Huff is recruiting a kid, why Voorhees?
Why not Voorhees? In little old Denmark, South Carolina, because it's a place where you can grow, you can begin, believe, and become. You can begin to be that person that you want to be 20, 30, 40 years from now. We believe that you can do it here. That's why we're recruiting you, and you're going to become a star. So begin, believe, become. That's it.
Okay. You know, I know Huff the Hustler. You know, I know he was going to have a good answer for that one, bro. Hey, man. I appreciate it, man. You know, like I said, I can't myself thank you enough, man, for what you meant to me, man, and, you know, embracing me and, you know, helping me along this journey. You know, a little young brother still crawling, just trying to get these crumbs, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make it out here. But, man, again, seriously, man, I thank you for everything, man, and thank you for coming on the show, man. You know, whatever I can do for you, man, it's a phone call away, brother.
Oh, man, appreciate you. Definitely let me know the academic and when you have your prep school stuff now. Don't act like I don't remember now.
Oh, I know. I already know. A matter of fact, we do need to talk about that because there's some big plans coming up for that one. And I'll go ahead and announce it now, man. The reason why I asked you about that, Huff, we're working on the Southeast Academic, all academic camp. So, you know, I already knew you were going to be there regardless. I knew that. But, you know, that was something that I've been on this big, you know, high D3 academic and just academic schools, period. You know, I didn't even know Reggie School was an academic school. Yeah. Didn't even know that, you know, but, you know, in learning all of this, man, you know, I was thinking to myself, why not have one in the Southeast? Because nobody has one. You know what I mean? It just makes sense to have it. And again, that saves you money. But understand, if you get one of the high academic people, that means you owe me a chicken dinner. I'm just going to tell you up front.
I got you, brother. No doubt.
Okay. All right. Don't have me come up there and you talk about they out of chicken. We will have problems.
Hey, they never going to be out of chicken down here. I can tell you that.
Hey, man. Huff, you already know this won't be the last time you're on the show, man. I watch your podcast all the time. You know, it's been family from day one, man, and I appreciate you, man, for coming on the show, man, and showing love, man.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man. Respect. Love you, Dave.
All right, man. Love you too, brother. You take care, man.
All right, you too.
All right. As Coach Huff, man, I can't say enough about that brother, man. I mean, definitely a good brother, man. And, you know, as you can say, man, his personality shows whether you know him, if you don't know him, man. He's definitely one of those people, you know, you definitely want to be in touch with because the knowledge he has, I'm never ashamed. When somebody has knowledge and I don't have it, I have no problem being a sponge and sucking up that knowledge. And he's given me plenty of knowledge on this trip. My next guest, hey, this has been one of those special shows. He's another brother that embraced me as well as I came in. One of my first camps I ever worked was his. Chris Cameron. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm just trying to make a couple dollars, trying to make it out here, man. You know what it is, man. Hey, man, listen. I hear you doing big things out there, man. I can't keep up with you, man. Every time I get a text, there's something else going on, man.
No, man. I just like to stay busy, man. Trying to make sure that I'm doing the things that I got in my heart and that I said I want to do. Not really get complacent. So
definitely
I just try to stay busy doing that.
I definitely understand. Hey, and so we got a number of things to talk about tonight, man. I'm a big supporter of the stuff you do, man. We'll start out with the HBCU camps because, man, that thing is growing like crazy, man. And shout out to you for what you're doing, man. That's huge, man. I've been a supporter from day one. That first one rolling up in there, man. And to see you start to expand that to the girls' side is going to be just as big, man. And I know Coach Marshall is going to be checking that out too, man, because man, it just makes all the sense of what you're doing and seeing it growing, man. Tell me some more about the HBCU camp, man.
Well, we put that together because, as you know, I coached at an HBCU for 13 years. And so I've been in the grind, and I was out recruiting, having to have recruiting battles with other conferences, some of the Division I conferences. And there was a lot of things that I was noticing. And I heard your conversation earlier with Huff and then with Coach Marshall about, just being out and how kids, be a little bit disrespectful because they overlook you first, and then they try to come back later.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot, even just in the AAU, the kids are so brainwashed where they want to go Division I. Everybody's not a Division I player. And you got to understand what level you are. And a lot of times at some of these camps or AAU tournaments, it would be some HBCU schools there, and it would be like a PWI there. All right, both of them could be Division I. Mm-hmm. The kids really get excited about the PWI that's Division I when there's an HBCU sitting right beside it. And both of them are Division I, about on the same level. So it's just like, wow, they don't even see us at some of these events. The kids don't. They don't really see us.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was we got to try to create somewhere the kids see the coaches and the coaches see the kids, because that works on both sides.
Definitely.
There are some kids out there that are deserving to play at some of these schools, Division I, Division II, at HBCU level, that sometimes those guys, they overlook some of these kids. So it works on both sides. So why not create something where, okay, if you're coming to this event, that's a good indication that you want to, at least have a look at about some of these schools.
Yeah.
So in that way, if I'm coming to as a coach, now all these kids are at the event. All right, let me try to build a relationship with some of these kids. I know they want to maybe attend HBCU because they're at the camp. This kid is pretty good. Let me try to get his contact. Let me introduce myself, whatever the situation may be. So let's have some dialogue about that in an atmosphere that's conducive to us. So that was kind of one of the reasons, as well as just trying to provide opportunity for the coaches to have a platform to showcase their programs. I think it's very important that they're seen. That's one of the knocks on some of the HBCU. We don't see them out anywhere. And we know sometimes they can't be out budget-wise. They can't be in Indiana. They can't be in Atlanta. They can't be in Dallas when all the events are going on. They're going to have to choose one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just another opportunity to get them out where kids can see that, okay, so they are out. I see them a lot. I see them everywhere. That kind of thing.
So, and I thought it was a great idea. And just to touch some more on the HBCU camp, this is year 3?
Yeah, this is year 3. The first year we started, we did the HBCU Elite 80.
Yes.
And that was the first one that we did. My business partner, Tony Lamar, and then the second year we partnered up with Jair Rollins in the AEBL and to put together the Elite 100. So we have a partnership to put that one together. And that's part of the reason why, it's expanding now, because we got 2 different organizations with the same vision, trying to make it be the type of camp it should be.
Got you. So just to let people know, Chris, and this is important to me because I want you to get your fair shake. Kids are signing from your camp, correct?
Yes.
Kids are getting offers from your camp.
We've had kids get offers on site at the camp. We've had kids that, from being at the camp, coaches saw them. They continued to talk throughout the rest of the year. I was talking with a coach the other day, and one thing he said, Coach, Yeah, that kid that I saw at your camp, we've been on him. So even if they don't get like an offer that particular day, it's still a platform for them to connect with the coaches, for the coaches to connect with the kids.
Exactly, because they're on the radar now.
Yeah, they're on the radar, you know. And then on top of that, we still try to go and provide some assistance with their recruitment just because we saw the kids. We put together a evaluation list, and we can send it out to a lot of coaches. You know how it is, coaches start looking.
Yeah.
So here's some kids that you should consider. These kids came to the camp. This is a little write-up about the kids. And we've done that for several guys, just so coaches know, like, what kids out there.
Got you. So so for this year, have you come out with your schedule and cities yet, or is that still in the planning?
Yeah, we're still in the planning. As of right now, we're doing just Atlanta right now for the spring.
Okay.
You know, we usually have it in the fall.
Yeah.
But we're trying something different this year to do it in the spring. And that was a reason for that, you know, try to have it during the live period, catch coaches out, you know.
Got you.
With that being extended, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
You know, but we think it's still good because some of the coaches that come out most of the time are going to be Division II coaches, NAIA coaches. So those coaches still going to come out. And if they're going to be in town that weekend watching AAU, why not come over to the HBCU camp? I'm in town. I need to go in here and I need to represent. I need to show some respect to this organization for trying to put this on for us. So let me step in and peek my head in there and see what I see.
So is it going to be boys and girls? Because I know the girls one's in April. You want to have the boys one as well?
Yeah, so we're going to do the girls on Saturday, the 24th of April. And then we're going to do the boys on Sunday.
Okay. You already know I'll be there for that. You already know. That goes without saying.
You show a lot of support, man. So I always appreciate that. And you know, it's just not about coaches. It's also about, you know, different media outlets coming in, people that have an eye, that have relationships. And that's what I try to tell parents and tell players. You know, you have to put yourself in front of as many people as possible that can help you. Because sometimes you can go to a camp and not play well according to one coach, but another guy in that same camp may like what he saw.
Yeah.
And so the more people that see you, it's a better opportunity that you may have down the road.
Agree, 100%. Now, you know, that platform is amazing and it's growing. But what caught my attention with you this year is the post-grad that you're starting up. Tell me some more about that, man.
Well, we're excited about starting that up. What a lot of people probably don't know or don't remember is when I left Albany State in 2014, the very next year, I was still living in South Georgia. And that area was one of the areas that didn't receive a lot of exposure. So a lot of kids kind of had the talent, but just didn't get seen enough. And would have been a great opportunity for those kids to have an additional year to go play against some of these post-grads, some of these colleges and junior colleges to get that exposure that they need. And so I started the program back in 2015.
Okay.
And so we did about a half a season that year, and we played about 10 games against a couple post-grads in some of the tournaments. And then we played a few junior colleges and JVs. And right now, I still have one guy that's at Albany State. He's a senior now. So he's still playing. He was on my team. There was another kid that played at Albany Tech a couple years. Started out at CBCC and then with Albany Tech. And then he just didn't move on from there. And then one or two guys that I work with, one is playing over in Ecuador now. He's playing over in Ecuador. Wow. And then one of the guys is a guy named Antonio Snell, who he does a lot of stuff in the Panama City area, in the Dothan area. He's from Dothan. So he does a lot of stuff, kind of like what we're doing here with the scouting, trying to help kids connect with coaches. I think he's working with Icon Sports now. So, so we got guys that had an opportunity to use basketball as a platform to move on to something different, you know, or to get the education.
Okay.
So we started that 2015. It was a great experience, but like I said, we did about a half a season. And I've been watching the post-grad over the last couple of years. And I think it's a great opportunity. And I told people a long time ago that this was the direction of basketball for high school students.
Yeah.
It was going to be to a point where it was just a trickle-down effect because all these guys are transferring. And at one time, a lot of these students that are going to prep schools were probably going to junior colleges. But because of the trickle-down effect, and junior colleges are now having to bring in guys who are playing at a high level that's transferring. You know, they got to have guys ready to play. So it's trickling down. So now the high school kid doesn't have the opportunities that he's always had. And so post-grad is that opportunity now. And that, in my opinion, that's just what it is. You know, you have some people that go for various reasons, but a lot of these kids are going because they haven't been seen enough. And a lot of these coaches don't feel like they can come in as an impact player. Or maybe they don't have the grades to come in, like Huff was talking about, to get some money academically where they can be there and be comfortable because they may not get any playing time. You know what I'm saying? We can't give you money if you're not playing. And that's kind of how it was when I was coaching. I can't give you money, a high school senior, if you're not going to be on the floor. I can't just give you money. You know, that's like wasting. It's like wasting money. So a lot of those guys are not getting the opportunity, but the post grad is a great platform for that. So after watching it for a while, Dave, you know, I said I want to start mine back up because I believe in development, and I see a lot of the kids are borderline ready to play and not ready to play. And I think that additional year can help them if they're in the right post grad. That's gonna, you know, really emphasize development, and not just on the basketball court, but just even with the mind and the socially. You know, some of the kids may need academic development, but I noticed that mental and physical development. That's what those are two of the biggest factors that separate the guys that can move on and go to a 4-year and the guys that can't.
So let me ask you this, man, and I think that's awesome what you're doing. So are you going to keep it regional, kind of like staying in Georgia and Florida, if like that?
Yeah, starting out, we're going to be a commuter-based program. So you got to be able to get to and from practices and what we're doing. So you pretty much got to live in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
We'll just play locally. We'll go out, like Florida. They got some good programs down there. So we want to play against the better programs. You know, we want to put the kids in a position where they're going to get challenged. And we feel like, we can help them with their development, put them in an atmosphere where they can go out there and compete, and then let everything else take care of itself. I think that's what the purpose of the post grad is for anyway, like getting the guys ready to play and then putting them in competitive atmospheres.
So you're going to play like in the big exposure tournaments when you do travel.
Some exposure tournaments. I heard you. I know you was going to do yours. You did yours in Florida last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you had talked about doing one in Atlanta, and I think we were talking about, and we were going to try to do it this year. We got behind the 8-ball, so we just decided to hold off. But, playing in those tournaments would be good for us. Playing against good competition is what we want. And then, schedule a few games against college programs, because I think that's another way.
And yes, that's another way for them to get looked at. I agree 100% with you on that. And it's funny you mentioned that, because one of the big things this year, Chris, is now that we got a number of Atlanta programs. And the thing I always loved about your HBCU camp, with people that are not familiar with it, after the camp was over, you always had 2 to 4 good games of post-grad. So I knew your vision, and it really opened my eyes, to be honest with you, to kind of, once you opened my eyes with that, I was like, oh man, this is good here. Yeah. And, I just kind of ran with it from there. And, a lot of the big boys started, once I became ingrained into it, they were like, oh yeah, definitely. What I wanted to do this year, and I have no problem talking to you about this, I wanted to have, now that we have a number of Atlanta ones now, I wanted to have a preseason one. And, I wanted to get your program out there. Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure it was around, it didn't coincide with your HBCU camp, because, I'm a supporter of that one.
Yeah. Well, last year we kind of went away with that concept, and mainly because of the COVID protocols. And, a lot of the coaches couldn't get out. The first year we did it, we had about 27 coaches that was at the event, and we were able to bring in some Division I's because we had the post-grads coming in, so they came in after the HBCU camp. So, like you said, it was a competitive matchup for the teams that came out.
Yes, so definitely.
My thinking was, if we're going to have the camp for high school kids and coaches are going to come, like Huff said, try to go and see more than one player. So we're going to have the camp, and we're gonna have those high school kids come at this time. Why not do something for another 4 hours? They're already in town.
Exactly.
So, and this is an opportunity for them to see both levels, you know, so they can, you know, get notes on kids and stay in contact with. That's all it's about anyway. You know,
you hit it right on the head.
Kids and stay in contact with them and get the information, and that's all you want to do, you know, versus being behind the desk trying to watch them. You know, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna, you know,
you want to put eyes on them. Everybody wants to put live eyes on the kid. Like, you can only do but so much with video. Yeah. You want to see how that kid moves in person.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, because unfortunately, you know, some of these guys are good with video editing now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know, they have you thinking, oh, he's the truth. And you be like, that's not the same guy in the video.
Yeah, you're right. And I had a lot of coaches talk to me about that. They like to see in person. And even like with the camp format, a lot of coaches tell me they like to see the drills because they want to see how these kids work. And, you know, you've been to the camp, you see the staff that we have. A lot of the guys that we have on our staff have played college ball at a high level. Some have played overseas. We even have 2 women that coach that plays that played Division I, as well as trained and work with the Atlanta Hawks.
I remember that, man, and I thought that was number one. It was so different, but when I first saw it, I was like, you know, I looked like, okay, I never liked to write anybody off, and I was like, let me see, and I was so not amazed, but I was so impressed with what she was doing in those. I was like, man, she's good.
Yeah, hold her own. You know,
exactly.
Guys, you know,
exactly.
Home, you know, and we try to provide an atmosphere where we tell the staff, look, coach these guys hard, man. Don't let them get away with anything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's going to be like when you go to college. Plus, we want to see how you react when somebody get on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the coach get into you, how do you take that? If you react the wrong way and the coach is evaluating, like, oh man, he got a little bad.
They're gonna write you off.
That's what our purpose is, to showcase the player, whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? But we talk to them about just try to be open-minded to everything today. You know, try to get out of your own way and just be open-minded and grow today at the camp. You know, and that's on the developmental side. And then you had the games to compete, showcase yourself. That's like your resume that you're trying to do. So we try to hit it from 2 different angles and give them some knowledge as well.
Man, I mean, you're doing it, man. You definitely doing it, man. And that's why I said just the idea of seeing your post-grad in infancy and then TD Prep is coming. You already got Core 4. You got Middle Georgia Prep. You got TSF. Atlanta's to the point where we can showcase our own now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where that was my idea. Like, let's do something preseason, get about 30, 40, 50 coaches in there, because that's what this was all about in the first place, is getting them synced.
Yeah.
And you know, you already know I'm gonna talk to you some more about that.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're going to develop them, so I'm not worried about the product you're gonna put on the floor. I'm just ready to see everybody get it on. That's all.
Yeah, we're excited about it, man, because you know it's a different level athlete than the high school athlete. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, having that coaching background on the college level, you know, I mean, you kind of get used to that. You know, coaching high school is great. I love it. You know, but you have 9th through 12th graders, and you know, some schools you don't have the luxury to have all these top players in your top of your as your upper class. So you may have to incorporate some freshmen and sophomores, and you know, it's a lower level of players compared to these guys out of school. They're 18 and 19. They want to get better. Everybody has the same mindset. They got a goal they're trying to get to. So now we can really focus on coaching them up hard, you know, and try to help them get to where they're trying to go. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I feel like post-grad is all about. And so I stand by that.
But Chris, here's the biggest thing, and I think you'll agree with me on this as well. A lot of people don't realize some of these kids don't really take off till they're 18 and 19.
Yeah.
Which is that development year that you're talking about. Like, yeah, they were okay in college, but they really start to bloom because their body's starting to change. You know, and so that's a big thing. So when that body changes, a lot of times that confidence starts to hit, because now you can do those drills quicker, faster, stronger. You look like a totally different player than 11th or 12th grade. So yeah, like you said, that extra year, a lot of times is that body change year.
Yeah, it is. You're right, because that's usually when it happens. going from high school to college if it hasn't
exactly. Yeah. And and in my opinion, Atlanta already has a bunch of under the radar prospects. But and just like this year, the one kid, Elijah Wilson. I mean, he was pretty good in high school. He went post grad, and now he's signed with Toledo.
Yeah.
So
you have that, like you said, you have that.
Yeah, and you're going to have a lot more of that. I mean, we know what Atlanta is from a competition standpoint. So I know you as well as myself, we get so many calls about coaches wanting to get a piece of the Atlanta market. But number one, there's so many kids. Number two, there's these kids that we're talking about right now because, okay, you got your McEatrons, you got your Norcrosses, you got your Wheelers, you got your big boys. So what about those kids that go to them smaller schools that aren't dominant schools? So they're kind of lost in the sauce, right? Yeah. So they go to, Chris Cam's post-grad, and now you develop them, and now I'm looking at them like, is that the same guy?
That same kid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the coaches, and like you said, all it takes is somebody like yourself, somebody like myself, to take a look and throw a tweet out like, hey, you need to take a look at this guy, or it's a relationship, making a phone call saying, hey, you're looking for this. I think you might find a jewel because this kid is not the same player.
Yeah.
And to me, like you said, that's what this is about. Seeing the kid's life change, and they had to work their butt off to get it.
Yeah. And part of that is teaching them what they have to do as well. Just how in high school, sometimes, like you said, everybody doesn't have the program that's going to develop the kids,
Exactly.
Because it's high school. I mean, you have different people coaching in those positions, and so depending on what school you go to, you may not get the type of coaching that you need, but you may have the talent. So you may be a little behind because you didn't develop, and I have a story, a kid who went to a school, which was a 7A school, and he wasn't really that good as a junior. He was about 6'6". And, when I first encountered him, I tried to work with him a little bit, and I was really surprised at how bad he was. All the guys were teasing him and everything. But that next year, he really put the work in. He played JV as a junior. And so he really put the work in over the summer, came back next year, had gotten a lot better, at least good enough to earn some confidence from the coach and to have an opportunity to develop more play. You know how it is. If your confidence is down, it's going to be hard for you to develop. So if you're not playing based on the coach's already determined mindset of, okay, you're probably not going to pan out to be anything while you're here. I'm going to go with the younger guys.
Yeah.
But you're 6'6", 6'7". So that's kind of what the situation that he was in. But was going to go prep, but something didn't fall through. Ended up, and I told him, I can probably get him into a JUCO because of his size, his athleticism, and there's several schools out there. We'll take them raw. As long as they're going to work hard, the athletic, we'll take that. So we ended up getting him to a JUCO in Alabama, played 2 years there, and kind of came around, and groomed himself a little bit. So now he's at his 4-year school, and I talked with the coach the other day, and he said this kid's going to have a chance to be all conference.
Wow.
So in his 3rd year of playing, basically 4th year playing because he played JV as a junior in high school. So you kind of see.
So he's catching up.
Half of the time, so basically just freshman and sophomore year in college where he just played a role.
Yeah.
And now he goes into his junior year. The coach said that the minute he figured out that it's not just about wanting to score, and he started doing all these other little things. And this is what I mean by the development. If these guys understand how to be a college player, while they're in high school, they have a better chance because you're not going to be if you're averaging 20 points a game in high school, you're not going to average that in college unless you're that guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're that guy. So you got to know how to be comfortable with averaging 6,
And playing D.
And playing D, playing a role. I averaged 28 a game in high school. I was run-up player of the year in Georgia basketball when it came out. Went to Tulane and, 5. So, and you're the defensive stopper now.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to get on the floor, which I started 8 games, but I was okay with that because I was all about trying to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the development piece that we want to bring with our program, just to help these guys that are borderline to figure it out and have a chance. They already got the talent decent enough to go to the next level, but just the IQ, the development may slow a lot of people from taking them. But now, hopefully, after a year with us, they'll be exactly what these guys need, and it'll be easy to kind of move them on to the next level.
Yeah.
Easier. I'm not going to say easy, but easier.
Yeah, because they're more polished now.
They're more polished. I mean, I talk with coaches all the time. They say, man, coach, I just can't do these high school kids, man. They don't know how to run any plays. They don't know how to practice hard.
Immature.
Yeah, so, I mean, so they don't want to take it. Now there's some guys coming out from good programs that's being enforced. And so they know how to do it. But collectively, the ones that don't get it, they don't understand how those things hurt their recruitment.
Big time. Yeah. Big time. You know, as they say, they'll be like, Coach, I want a dog. You know what that means.
Yeah. That's what they say. There's certain things that they say that I don't see a lot of guys bring to the table. Like when you call about them, like, Coach, is he a dog? Oh man, well, Coach, I even had one guy ask me, like, Coach, could he play with y'all at Tulane? Coach, you can't. That's not fair. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare what we did in the past. Like, we got to compare him to the rest of the guys of the generation.
They're not trying to hear that though.
Yeah, he's not bad compared to what's going on. But yeah, that's just something that a lot of coaches say, man. We need a dog. They don't have to be skilled. We just need somebody, like Coach said, we need a monster.
Yeah.
But I think if the kids understand, they don't understand that. All they think about is what they see on Twitter. Guys post about the stats and 25 points and assists or whatever the situation is, triple-double. Nobody's really saying he was a monster tonight. You know what I'm saying? He's a dog. They're not really, that's not popular, for kids to say, man, I got to get my game like that. I got to be
right. So one other question I got for you before we wrap this up, man. So what's it take with the new post-grad? Are you going to have the academic piece to that as well?
We're not going to have academic the first year. We'll have some assistance for guys who need some academic assistance.
Okay.
That'll be something that if they, we will help them with. We're not going to offer it. We're going to just strictly basketball player development, and playing games. Yeah, but going forward, as I get in and continue to learn more about, the business and how people are doing it to be most effective, then we'll try to add that piece to what we're doing. Yeah.
Got you. Well, man, I'm going to support you, man. And, I look forward to seeing how this turns out for you, man. If there's anything I can do outside of, what we already planned on doing, man, I'm a phone call away, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Again, I appreciate you for bringing me on, man. And I really love what you guys are doing. You and Marjorie both. I love what you guys are doing to contribute to the game of basketball.
I appreciate it, man. And this isn't going to be your last time on, because once you get that post-grad up, man, I got to bring you back on, man, and so you can market it some more, man. And also, whenever you're ready to do, you already know I'll be at the HBCU camp in April. That's a gimme there. And if you do anything in the fall, I'll be there for that one as well, man.
Well, we got some things coming up with College Hoops Connect. We have a Skills University camp that we're going to start doing, and that's basically going to be about just pretty much a camp dedicated to just skill development, where they'll play games, but it's not so much about recruitment exposure. It's more about coming in like training camp kind of. And it'll be a 2-day camp where they're going to get a lot of skill work in, a lot of different offensive and defensive concepts that translate to the game and translate to the next level as well. And then we're going to let them play games where we can kind of evaluate them, because I think a lot of guys need to understand where they are so they can figure out, where they're trying to go.
Okay.
I think a lot of people have a misrepresentation of who they are based on everything that's going on. So this camp is some kids that really want to get better and really want to learn the fundamentals of the game and add that so they can be better at the high school level. Now, as a result, that may lead to opportunities past high school.
Gotcha. Hey, man, whenever you're ready to fire that up, man, just let me know, man. Definitely let me know. Man, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you, man, for the time we had our relationship, man. It's just grown, and, man, I supported you. You supported me, man, and I'm just thankful for you, brother. Definitely thankful for you, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on. And
no problem, man.
We'll talk soon, man.
Oh, no question. You already know. We'll talk before the HBCU camp. Definitely. I gotta get myself together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag the flyer to you as well, so you can have it.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Right.
Hey, man, we'll stay in touch, man. You take care, Chris. All right.
Okay, take care.
All right. Hey, that's Coach Cameron, man. Definitely a good guy, man. This show's been kind of special to me, man, because all those guys, including Coach Marshall, who I just met not too long ago. It hasn't even been a year yet, but man, we hit it off. And whenever you meet people and you get that good feeling about them, man, you always run with it. And especially when you share knowledge and passion for the game, I know I'm going to always do that and always stay in touch with those type of people. Last part of the show, even though we ran it a little long, I'm gonna bring my man on. Dre, what's going on, bro?
Yeah. What's happening?
Hey, bro, I'm up here in Kentucky, bro, trying to fight these UK fans off me, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, their time is wrapping up. It's almost over. They're not better than us. They lost the dream game this year, so like you got to make sure that everybody understands their place in this world, Dave. That's what it's about.
Bro. Listen, but they turned around late in the season, though.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing that people have to understand. When you lose that game in late December, none of this other stuff really matters, right? It's that game in late December that matters.
No, it's the game in March and April that matters.
See, I'm bringing out the big boy podcast candy. This is how you know I'm putting my all into it, man. When I bring my podcast candy out, that's how you know I'm really giving you my best stuff. I can't prepare today.
You can't prepare? Okay.
I did.
Okay, so, word on the street is you did a little homework.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was something like.
Okay.
Listen, in all honesty, when you're going on the Hoops Hidden Gems podcast, I've been playing Hidden Gem highlights since COVID started on the Love of the Game podcast.
True.
Watching you do this through 14 episodes of your own podcast, I understand what's at stake. when you step on here, you gotta be prepared. I listen. I know when playoff basketball starts, man. I know what time it is. When you come on Hoops and Gyms, you gotta be ready. It's time right now.
Big shot, Bob. Show me a little something, Big Shot, Bob.
Hey, listen. Just put me in, Coach. Just put me in. I'm ready, Coach.
You ready? Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Let's get it, Alan.
I got a few prospects to share, man. I think you're gonna like it, man.
Okay.
I do have a surprise lefty in here, but I'm not gonna start with the lefty first. See, I've been doing my homework. I pay attention. I watch the show. I know when I come, I gotta have a lefty.
Oh, yeah, you know what it is. You will get kicked off without a lefty. You know that.
I know. But I did bring you one, but I won't start there. The first person that I want to start with is actually from Ada, Oklahoma. 6'1", 185-pound point guard. Cameron Reed does a little bit of everything. Just a kid that really plays the game the right way. Highlights is really a joy to watch. It's just a good mix of good quality basketball play. So we're going to start with Cameron Reed.
Okay.
Brought to us by Empowered by Huddle. Little good dish there. You're going to see that a lot. Finding the right teammate, knocking down open shots. These are things that you want a point guard to do. Closing out hard. We pushing. Yeah, man. It's with this kid, what I notice in his highlights, it's all the little things that we ask for guards to do. Right? Yeah. It's post entry right there, what you just saw, defending on the steal the previous play before that, being tough inside, finishing.
So you talking about the unselfishness is what you're looking for.
Yeah, and playing defense. You see him playing the passing lanes. Look, getting to that pass, that's an extra effort play right there. Not giving up. Like we said,
a lot of people don't understand. Coaches look for these things. It's not always about filling it up for 25, 30 a game. It's these effort plays that coaches are looking for.
Making the right read in pick and roll situations.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about that with our own 17U this weekend. Of you don't have to force plays to be impactful. And that's why I chose Cameron Reed's highlights, because he's making a lot of plays, but he's not forcing anything. It doesn't have to be flashy to be.
And he plays hard, right? You can see it. He plays hard.
Seen a couple of these clips, just making a pass ahead.
But see, that's a quality you can't teach with playing hard. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That's a great kick out. Good touch on the jump shot. Range. Like, I love highlights that like this because it's not hard for me to tell whether or not his game transfers to the next level, right? Like, it's easy to tell, like, okay, yeah, he could play in the system. This looks like a college basketball player. I'll leave it to you professionals to tell me what level he is. I don't know, but he's certainly a college basketball player.
Oh, definitely. No doubt. He definitely can find a home. No question about that. Hey, just to answer Dr. Love's question, well, not really a question. Yeah, that post-grad tournament is this weekend with IMG, T-Lab, TSF, Hargrave, and Linkier. Yeah, that's going to be fire right there, Dre. That's going to be fire, what they got coming this weekend. I hate I can't make that one. And I know all of those coaches, and all of them are great coaches too. I would not be surprised, even with the coaches, the D1 coaches not being able to attend, please believe they will be locked in on that live stream for those games right there. All of those teams can play. All of them.
I still have to get in on that part of the game right there of hitting one of those post-grad post-grad events.
Oh, well, that's already in the making. There's some announcements coming.
Hey, listen, I just want to be in the number.
Oh, well,
just include me in the number. That's all.
Love the Game will be there. Love the Game will definitely be there.
I love it.
Love the Game will be there. Madre Allen, Love the Game podcast, Big Time Basketball. There'll be some announcements coming. Definitely some announcements coming that will have people like, whoa, okay. And teams that were already like, oh, we just waiting for y'all to do it.
Hey, well, I'm down.
No question.
This next kid is going to be familiar, D. We spent a lot of time with this one.
Okay, let me see what you're rocking with here.
I'm going with the 6'4" wing or guard, Jackson Head out of River Ridge High School.
I'm very familiar with this young man. Hey, listen. When you talk, look, I need to start calling him Rocky because this dude play hard, and he don't stop playing even when all the way to the buzzer. He's gonna give you his all 100%. 100%. He's tough. As you can see, he's big, strong, burly. He can move, will pass, plays a great team game. And I think that's what makes him a good player as well. Like, he plays a good game. He's strong. He's a team player. And when you have somebody like that plays a team game, Lord help if you have 4 or 5 other kids that play like that, it's going to be a problem. Great problem.
And what he's gotten so much better at is right there, shooting
that jump
ball.
shot. Yep, that jump shot. That's what makes him a heck of a lot even more attractive now. Now that he can knock that jumper down, everything else was, it was good, but it was okay. You got to make him respect you, and now he's doing that.
For sure. Always
to say that
always rebounded the basketball.
And just to let people know, he's a 2-sport star, all region, in 2 sports.
Currently ranked as one of the best tight ends in the state in football. But made it clear to me at our first practice, coach, make sure they know I'm open to offers in basketball, coach. Big Jackson, I got you, big fella. They're gonna know. But this guy, like we said, D, plays defense, plays hard, wants to be coached hard, just does everything that you want to do to win. Could always score inside, could always rebound, but his ability to handle the ball has improved, his passing has improved, his jump shooting has improved. But that goes to, like you said, being a worker.
And as far as work ethic is concerned, not too many people are going to outwork him.
Ever.
Ever. That's just being honest. Not too many people are going to outwork him.
You're going to have to pack a lunch.
Yes, indeed.
He's the type of kid that puts pressure on you as a coach. Because you got to come with it.
You got to step your game up. You know what I mean?
Because he's coming with it.
And I have no problem saying this. Y'all better be glad in Rock Hill he was playing football last year already.
Oh, yeah. He was.
Yeah, because with that added piece right there,
that pull-up shot, man.
Yes, sir.
You can catch him on the radar. Georgia man up.
And I can't wait to see him and Tay together.
I keep telling him he's gonna really love playing with Tay.
I can't wait.
I keep telling him that.
Can we get Pitt Panther uniforms this year?
And to tell you what type of kid Jackson is, when I told him about Tay, he actually was asking about could we go to Macon for the state championship so he can watch Tay play.
Right.
That's just what type of kid he is.
Bruh, you know my style of play. And you put Jackson and Tay together, we have the Georgia Man Up Panthers. That's our new name.
You're getting every rebound. You're getting every rebound.
The Georgia Man Up Panthers.
I'm gonna leave you alone with that Pitt reference. We're gonna let you slide with that.
And Jelani could be Sam Young then.
That's a good comparison.
Hey, I'm just saying. Like you said, we will rebound you to death like that.
I got another player that you're really gonna like. TJ Warren, 6'2", 6'3", wing player. I'll see if you see what you notice as soon as we hit play here. I think something's going to pop out at you. The lefty.
Oh, look. I'm looking for a player.
The lefty. I told you I was going to sneak one in.
Ah, bro, that's a requirement on this show. That's a requirement. We don't do no show without at least one lefty. Oh!
Yes. I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. Give me that. I like this kid a lot. Falling down, knock down. Don't foul me. I like this kid. He makes a lot of plays on defense. Look at that. Give me that.
Oh, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
The disrespect.
This kid over in Pelham. Making plays. Lots of
in Alabama?
No, this is Georgia.
Where's Pelham at?
Going toward Milledgeville.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Okay.
Bam. Shooting it. This kid does a little bit of everything, man.
Give me that.
I mean, when you get out there to block a three, you realize how hard that is?
And the closeout got to be real.
Like that kid a lot.
Okay.
He is he's in 2022.
Look at Dr. Love. See, Dr. Love feeling the man up Panthers. I like that. Man up Panthers, baby. Man up Panthers.
Well, and that is TJ Warren, a 2022 kid out of Pelham. Reach out, coaches.
Definitely like him.
Just reach out. Great player. I got another one.
What you got?
Point guard. Hey, listen. All I'm gonna say is, and I can't wait. These are his sophomore highlights. I really can't wait until his junior highlights. I've seen some small clips from his junior year, 10-second clip, but I wanted to show kind of a full highlight on the show. But this is Lathan Levens from Bainbridge, 5'10" point guard from Bainbridge High School. He is shifty.
Okay.
Shifty. Hold on a second. Let me get you up here. I got to go back so you can see the first one.
This is kid. You know,
shifty. He is shifty.
I knew this kid looked familiar.
Yeah, buddy. Yes. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. Talk to us nice. Talk the man up nice. Y'all gonna have to start talking to us different out here.
I was looking like this kid looks familiar. Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to start talking to man up different out here. Man. At some point, I'm gonna go back to shutting up. But this kid can really play.
Yeah, he can. He can.
He can. Really
when you
play.
said the name rang my ears. But as I started, I was like, "Wait, I know who this is."
This kid can really play. Shifty, man. Ultra quick in the open court.
He's 2023, right?
No, he is 2022.
Okay. Pink. Wait a minute. Is that another club? Another club guy?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I know for him when I see it.
I told you I was taking care of you today, man.
I appreciate it. You know, it's hard to get love out here nowadays, bro.
Man, I got you, bro. I got you. You know what I mean? I came on the show today, had to be prepared. Had to be prepared to take care of my guy. You see that pass? You see that pass, bro?
Yeah.
He's not playing. He's not playing around.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, we're a small independent program in our inaugural year, man. Come on now, we don't want to do that.
Hey, Dr. Love. Hey, listen, Dr. Love. I'm gonna tell you what. Sean gonna have to thank you for that game. You want to mess around and have that game sold out. He talk about it all the time. That game gonna mess around and be sold out on the main court.
For sure. I got one more for you, man. This is Elijah Jefferson, 6'5", kind of combo guard forward type kid. And he is out of Rockdale County High School.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I seen this kid too.
I got you, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. First team all region, 15 points a game.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Hey! He's also a track athlete as well. Spin move, get by, lay, 6'5". Hey!
What are you doing?
Why did he do hit?
Fellas, what are y'all thinking? Y'all need to watch tape.
Listen, it's up and it's stuck with this young man. Like, I had fun watching his highlights, man. I really did. Some of these dunks is crazy.
Hey, but you know, them track cats will take off on you in a minute.
He is in game just hawking.
Give me that. I should have gave that up and got it back off the glass. Uh-oh.
Don't worry. Give me
that.
And I like it. Knocking down the jump shot. Taking it in rhythm. That's versus North Cobb Christian there.
Uh-oh. Look, cats just start slowing up. They already knew. No, I don't want none of that.
I keep waiting for the windmill. We didn't get it. I keep waiting for the windmill. But a very good player, 2021. So this kid is available now.
Hey. Oof. Them springs is real. Them springs is definitely real.
Real deal.
We got a young lady we want to show, Dre.
For sure. That's a staple.
One of the first things I want to do is I want to congratulate her. I'm actually showing her, but she also has a twin sister as well. And congratulations to both of them. They're playing in the state championship this weekend for Cairo High School.
That's what's up. And I got the highlights up here, and we'll go.
Okay. Ambria Vicks from Cairo High School in Cairo, Georgia. Listen, 3.4 GPA. She can ball. I like her. Has led her team to the state championship. They're playing this weekend. Like I said, she's a bucket for real. She is a bucket. Give me that teeth. They sleeping on Dre. I mean, to be honest, people missing out on this one for real. She can play, man. She can play.
Hey, anytime you got a chance to win a state championship in Georgia, got to be the deal.
Oh, no doubt. Her and her sister can play. And there's a third one, and I wanted to do them all justice because I didn't want to show them all in one show. Like, I wanted to show her, of course, she was first team all region, but they got a 6'2" sleeper down low. Like, oh, wow. She's still developing, bro. I'm like, yo, she's going to be straight. She may end up, when it's all said and done, whoever gets her from a player development standpoint, if they get her, they be like, man. But she's the cream of the crop right now. Like, she can play, man. And Ambria can play. I like her. Shout out to her head coach and her assistant coach putting in the work, sending her out to me. I would have never known about her until the assistant coach was like, hey, check her out. And I was like, oh, she can ball.
Definitely a bucket, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, and the offer she's getting, Dre, it's no disrespect to any of them, but bro, man, listen.
Don't do that, D. They out here recruiting hard.
Oh, no question. But people sleeping, bro. And I'm not up here trying to say, oh, she D1 and all that, but I'm telling you, Dre, if you seen the list, you be like, hold on, what?
Hey man, Huff said it best. Everybody want to recruit a level above.
But I mean, Dre, no, bro. I mean, that was just like the young lady, and shout out to the young lady from Kennesaw Mountain. Ever since she was shown last week, Dre, man, her stuff has blown up. Madison, her stuff, bro. It is blown up. Where coaches is like, look, the first thing coaches came to me is like, what's the problem? I was like,
shoot the ball really well, man.
I'm telling you, this is, I mean, not quite Madison
in person.
Yeah, not quite Madison, but bro, she can play, man. She can play. I like her. She can move. She moves very well. She can shoot. She's athletic, bro. Look at that spin move. Get that out of here.
I wanna watch her play in person.
She's averaging like 17 points, like 6-7 rebounds, bro. She can play. And I mean, to be honest, let's be real. You're telling me a Peach Belt women's team shouldn't be offering that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. See, I ain't even go there and be like, oh, somebody like a Georgia Southern. No, I'm not even saying that. But a Peach Belt, definitely. You kidding me? Peach Belts, wake up. SIACs, wake up, huh?
I'm sorry. I'm still watching the highlights in the background. She just whipped one.
Bruh, she can play, man.
Yeah, she can hoop.
And, man, let me just say this, man, because this show has been special to me. Bro, we ran like Stockton to Malone for years and years and years. And to see all this stuff come to fruition, man, podcast people, I'll be the first to tell you, he dragged me into all of this some years ago. He dragged me into this.
Good reason.
I was living the life. I was chilling. He was like, D, you got to do this. You got to do this. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I had my time. I'm good. He kept at it. He kept at it. He kept at it. And I was like, all right, bro. All right. And here we are today. And I'll be the first to tell you, he's ignited something in me, I thought was dead. And we're going to keep working at this podcast. We got some other podcasts that are on the table. So look forward to in the future. Y'all already know from a AAU perspective we come in because we're going to work hard and we're going to keep working hard. But I thought this show tonight just coincide with all the people that were on the show. All three of them are good people. They work hard. And just to top it off with my boy, it's just what it is. So it's 9:16. We went a little bit over. Thank you all for hanging out. Sometimes we can get a little long-winded. It's all good, especially when we get some good highlights to go with being long-winded. But thank you all for staying with the show. When it comes to these kids, we always going to show these kids because this platform is bigger than us. And to see these kids start to get attention and getting calls where people are asking, who is this kid? Why haven't I heard of him? Well, man, Atlanta's loaded. Georgia's loaded. And if we can get one or two kids on, it makes all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. Because that means we've done our job. And one or two is just the start. We would like to get a lot more on. The time is coming. Let's just say that. And it's about that exposure piece that some of these kids are never not getting. Like the young lady from Cairo, Georgia, I'm like, man, she can ball. I mean, the last 2 weeks you got her and you got Madison. If you put them two in the same team, man, please. That's some killers right there. Some killers.
For sure.
So, like I said, we want to thank you all for checking us out and, staying locked in with the show. Man, we're just going to keep grinding. We're going to keep getting better. you're going to see us either way. You're going to see us because this show is going to keep getting better. We're going to keep working at getting it better. And we got some more guests that are going to open your eyes in the coming weeks. Let's just put it like that.
It's going to be a good summer, man. It's going to be
sir.
a good summer, big dog.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for checking us out. As always, peace and love.
Peace.